I never quite realized how beautiful this world is.
The commander's put me in charge of your maintenance, ma'am. That means I'll be performing regular checks on you from now on.
If anyone is listening to this, there's something I need you to do. If you ever meet up with Yorha Unit 9S, I want him,
Well, hello everyone. Ogre27 Kane here today, and I want to do a review of Nier, Automata, the End of Yorha edition for Nintendo Switch. Let's do an overview and find out what this game is all about. Well, this game is a sequel to Nier from 2010 on the PlayStation 3. That game itself being a sequel to Drakengard from way before that. It's got the same director, Yoko Taro, and he also had a hand in writing as well. This game was made by Platinum Games and produced by Square Enix, and this Nintendo Switch version was released in 2022. It includes all the DLC, and it has 3 playable characters with their own storylines, and 27 different endings, 5 main endings, and 22 sub-endings. There's lots of different genres and playstyles to get into here, including first-person and third-person shooters, text-based, shmups, platformers, open world, and a bit of Metroidvania to it. I absolutely love this game, and I can't wait to talk about it. First up, we got gameplay. So as I previously stated, the gameplay in this is a little bit of everything. It's really hard to classify it as any one such thing, but I'm gonna give it a go. This is an action open-world RPG with Metroidvania elements to it, and just about every other genre you could think of. I absolutely love this blending, and it lends itself well to the futuristic and post-apocalyptic setting that it's going with. The story in this game is a huge part of it as well, but it's also something I don't really want to spoil too much. It does have a section in this review, but it's very small and I left it later on. I don't want to get too far into that because the story in this game is definitely one of the highlights. Now, I absolutely love the combat and all the other elements to it, and this game has a cool crafting and upgrading system, as well as Dark Souls-like elements, whereas you die, you need to go back and recover parts. Now, being made by Platinum Games, this game has a certain amount of flashiness and flair to it. I absolutely love this aspect of it, and it makes the game pop. There's all kinds of fun and cool elements to everything you're doing, and as the story blends seamlessly with the world, every time you get to a new area, it has sort of the Breath of the Wild feel. Speaking of which, my daughter and I both came to the conclusion that this game is almost like if Breath of the Wild and Bayonetta had a baby. Yeah, it's kind of an odd comparison, but there's really nothing else I can use to explain this. The last thing I really gotta mention is that all of these elements combine into a seamless RPG, yes, RPG, where you can grind and level up and enhance your character and gain new abilities and strengths. One of the coolest parts of this game is how all of these elements absolutely blend together in harmony. Controls and audio are up next. Well, let's start with controls, because they're absolutely fantastic. The controls in this game are very tight and they feel well done. It feels like this game went through a lot of testing and they've spent their time actually allocating buttons to the correct locations. I absolutely adore this because on a fast-paced frenetic game, it's difficult when the button layout doesn't make sense with what you're used to. If you're familiar with any of Platinum Games' other control styles, this will fit right in. I would say their most difficult one is Astral Chain, and I absolutely love that game. So this game fit perfectly. On top of that, if you're used to Dark Souls or any games like that, then the methodical nature of dodging and attacking and coordinating your moves will fit right in. So let's hit the audio. Well, both the music and the voiceovers are absolutely fantastic in this game. The composition is very well written, and the voiceovers have a ton of emotion behind them. So let's show some of this off.
In Inadvisable. The subject's vital signs are too poor to attempt field repair in
Shut up!
current...
Just do what I say!
2B. Just go.
You shut up too!
We're soldiers. We take pride in our service.
All right.
These is control system.
Affirmative. Infiltrating enemy subunit. Behavior table adjusted.
You just die already!
Well, let's move to the story now. Well, as I said, I'm only going to briefly mention the story here, because frankly, I want to get you invested enough to check this out. Well, the story in this takes place roughly 9 to 10,000 years in the future. It happens after some divergent events at the end of Nier, whereas you get a specific ending that leads to the events in this story. This story takes place where a group of aliens has come to Earth and invaded the planet. And in doing so, mankind could not fight back and had to escape to the moon. Then mankind proceeded to build their own robots and send them down to the planet to begin to fight back. So there's essentially a giant robot civil war occurring on the planet, with mankind hovering above trying to achieve their goals. The last thing I'll mention is that you're an android and you know that all is not well, so let's do the combat now. Well, the combat in this game is an absolute blast. If you're familiar with any of Platinum games, then you'll be very familiar with the combat in this. Picture having the Bayonetta system set to a leveling system with experience. On top of that, you have some really cool abilities, a partner and a pod, that you can attach ranged weapons to. Now, as far as your physical weapons go, you can have 2 weapons attached to a set, and you have 2 sets equipped at a time. So essentially 4 weapons you can use in tandem and different combinations. It's really cool because you can string together different light and heavy attacks and different combinations on these weapons that give you some really fun and unique combos. On top of that, the weapons themselves are all different and varied, and I really enjoy stringing a light sword together with a great sword, throwing in a spear and then an axe. It really does include all of the diverse fun of the combat at one time. On top of that, the dodge system in this game is almost like a form of witch time from Bayonetta, to where it gives you bonuses, buffs, and improvements for properly dodging and bouncing around the enemy. It makes you feel powerful. The last thing I want to mention about combat is, as the genres and playstyles of the game change throughout, your avenues of that combat change. And they're all fun and exciting. I love flying the mech and having the different options available on that, and I love being on foot. So with that out of the way, let's move on to the next category, the graphics and animations. Well, being the final port of this game, having all of the upgrades and additions from all the other versions has really helped a lot. The Nintendo Switch really shows what it can do with this game, and Virtuos did a fantastic job porting it. They really didn't leave a lot of elements out. As you can tell here, the frame rate is very consistent and very steady, and the animation quality is top-notch. One of the coolest things about the fast-paced combat is, because of this animation quality, it makes it really easy not to lose your character. In a game like this, there's something to be said about that. But I do have to mention that there is some pop-in when you're moving around the environments really fast. Whether it's on an animal or whether you're just running around, you will notice the pop-in, but it doesn't bother you. The enemies have good enough draw distance that you can avoid them if you choose to, and there's plenty of options to move around things and find a different path if that's what you choose. Now, because of the art style that was chosen, the game absolutely fits perfectly with the graphics and the simplicity of the environments. Everything looks like it's supposed to, and I truly felt like I was in a post-apocalyptic universe. So let's do the conclusion now. Well, in conclusion, this game absolutely blew my mind. It is absolutely fantastic. Having, as I said, an open world Metroidvania with Dark Souls elements and all the RPG I could muster. Put this game into one of my games of the year, and I am just dumbfounded that it took me this long to find it. Yeah, I've only found this game within the last month, and I've dumped a lot of time into it. Not enough, though. I am a noble idiot when it comes to understanding this story, and I really want to dig in more. But I got super excited about how fun this game was, and I had to share it with everybody, so I really hope that you enjoyed this. The last thing I will mention is that this game is an absolute value fantastic price. At $30 for a physical copy, get this before it is gone, because I guarantee this hidden gem will be well sought after. That's gonna do it today, so thank you for watching today's video. It was a blast to make. I upload every single Monday. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe, and have a great rest of your day. This is Ogre 27 Kane signing out.